All right, back here. This is insane. Let me get everybody back for some odd reason. Everything just freaking went blank. Hold on, we'll get everybody back up here. uh, yeah, okay. That was completely insane. I don't know what happened there.
Oh my goodness.
It's the spirits.
Alex can't hear us. What's going on?
He's still having issues.
He's still having issues. He must.
Whoa.
Weird. And we've got Mr. Richard Palmisano with us. Hey, Richard, how are you? This has been quite a unique start.
Yeah.
Everything's fine on the network. Yeah, everything's fine on the radio network. Oh, just want to make sure. Okay.
I'm gonna repost. I'm gonna reshare the link.
Yeah, I'm going to as well. That's
Okay,
crazy.
I'll do that too.
Oh.
Crazy. And poor Richard came into it going, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah.
Richard, this is Kassy, and you've already met Jeff before.
Yep. Hi, Kassy.
And
Hi.
you know that other crazy bald guy over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we're back in business. We're back up. For some odd reason, I don't know what happened there. That was just awfully weird.
What happened?
Okay.
I miss.
Yeah. So you back?
I am back. I can hear now. I had to switch the wire. For some reason, this wire just fucking wouldn't work.
Oh wow, that's insane.
Yep.
Oh well, it happens. We're back. We're good. The stream went completely down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. We lost everything.
Lost everything. Oh well, we're back. We're back. Get back in. I just want to make sure everything's fine on the. Yeah, everything's good here. Everything. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys who tuned into the
There we go.
on the New Visions Radio Network and listening to all that chaos that was going on. We're back. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course, watching us here on YouTube, making a complete mockery of live streaming and all that wonderful live fun stuff. We're here, anyways. It's September. It's not even October yet. What's going on?
Oh, full moon's coming soon.
I know. Wasn't that just a beautiful moon this evening? It's just hazy, beautiful, awesome stuff. So, anyways, guys, we'll start with Jeff and then Richard and Kassy. Get your info out there. Let people know a little bit about yourselves. So people who are new in the chat don't know who you guys are. Just give them a little background.
I am Exploring Harley, aka Jeff. I'm French Canadian from Quebec. I'm a veteran, and I've been doing paranormal investigations on YouTube for the past 2 years, but been interested in the paranormal since I was a teenager.
Richard?
What do you want to know, Steve?
That's not what I want to know.
Hi, Richard. I like long walks on the beach.
No. That's your alternate lifestyle.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm on the wrong. Sorry, man. I'm on the wrong channel. Sorry.
Yeah.
The same gender.
Well, I'm an author, paranormal researcher, investigator, lecturer, paranormal theorist. We just marked our 45th year.
45
field work,
years.
investigative work.
And I thought I was an old timer.
See, I knew you were going there, buddy. I just celebrated my birthday. There you go.
Yes, happy birthday, by the way, Richard.
Thanks.
No, happy birthday.
My birthday and the searcher group's birthday are linked.
So you're
Wow.
46 is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 46. Yeah.
So had a pacifier when you started researcher group.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd gave me that pacifier.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I've written some books on the subject, and I've got another one coming out next September.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. I haven't read it yet.
You beat me. You beat me again.
What's that?
You beat me with getting a book out before I did.
Yeah, I don't know.
He constantly beats you, Steve.
When you finally get to write this book, I think it's going to be 3 volumes.
Yeah.
So, but, I keep telling you, if you need a hand or you need some help on it, I'm here.
It'll eventually get out there. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I did change my number, but no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Kassy, go ahead.
So my name is Kassy. I'm from Southern Ontario, Niagara region. I've been investigating for 3.5 years now. I've always been interested in the paranormal, and I decided why not start my own group. So I'm one of 3. My husband Raun now is back on. It's a whole other story, but he's back on the team. He's the camera guy because he backed away because he's like, I don't know, this is weird, and then he joined back again because he loved it. Well, I mean, he loves it. I don't know. And then my friend Reese. And yeah, so that's about it.
It's all Canadian panel tonight. What's going on here? All Canadian panel.
Canadian.
Wow.
You have to
And,
show those Americans that
You're going to go get the bacon.
Yeah. Hey, Kassy, you're the only one that has hair too. What's going on?
Well, finally, you're bringing some class to the show.
Let's not get started, Richard.
Kassy, I was pretty impressed with some of the locations. Like I've been watching some of the stuff content that you put on YouTube. Some pretty impressive places. I mean, some places I've been to, but it's always nice to see what others get when they go to these places. So, what's been your favorite location?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
It always is.
So, I would have to say, I don't know, Virginia City, Nevada has a really special place in my heart. So, I think Washoe Club is probably my favorite, just because. And I don't know, it's so hard to say. They're kind of tied with Mackey Mansion and Washoe Club, but yeah, I would have to say probably Washoe Club kind of wins by a little tiny bit. So
nice. And your approach to the paranormal. What's your approach to the paranormal? I mean, are you view it with a skeptical eye? Or you like how do you approach the paranormal?
So I definitely go in. Maybe it's because how I got my start was basically one of my friends is a debunker. So I kind of went in going in it like a little more skeptic because I don't think everything is necessarily paranormal. So I kind of go in it and then trying to rationalize things. I go, okay, well maybe not. I'll reread footage kind of thing. So I kind of went into like that. I definitely I don't have a lot of tech I use when I'm investigation. I use them as my channel has grown. I've used less and less. I kind of just more like my camera, digital recorder, and I trust myself more. So that's kind of how I've always gone in, and I just basically asking questions and see what I kind of get. So,
Richard, what do you think? Like, I mean, in terms of the best evidence, if you want to call it evidence. The best sort of, is it audio? Is it visual? I mean, those seem to be the two solid sort of outlets when it comes, to capturing some sort of footage or evidence or findings or however you want to put it, right?
Well, yeah, audio, video. I mean, it's compelling information, right? It's data you can look at, you can analyze it, you can scrutinize it. But the confusion about evidence is not one thing. It's a variety of things that all support each other as evidence. So you might have audio, you might have a photograph, you might have information that you've gained through your investigation historically, And then you might have information that a medium has brought in to you that corroborates some of that data. And now what you're seeing is a bunch of components coming together to build evidence, right? They support each other.
Yep.
Information you received on some of your meters or your instruments are supporting something as well. So it's not one thing. You can't pick one thing and say, hey, I got evidence. You know, I got an EVP. Well, maybe not. EVP of what? What's it, you know, what's it evidence of? So you're trying to compile information that builds a bit of a story that directs you to what that evidence is, right? The best evidence I have was a place I did in Georgetown.
Yeah.
You know, and I've said this before. We went in. The team went in. We were using audio-video surveillance, and we captured a conversation between two spirits, so a young male and an older female. And he used her name. He said, "They're all here, Miriam." And she said, "Thank you." And so we had a name, Miriam. So that was interesting. But is it evidence? No. Down the road, we brought a medium in. Now, the medium doesn't know anything about anything and doesn't walk through. And she picks up the name Miriam. She said, "There's an older woman here. She's been here a long time, and her name is Miriam." So now we have two corroborating pieces of information, but it's only information. It's not evidence at this point. About a month later, the owners of the property, when they did some renovation work to the structure, found old papers and magazines in the wall as insulation. That's the way they used to do it back in the day. She said, "Do you want to look at them?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So we had a look, and there was mailing labels on these magazines from 1905 through 1907. And the owner, or the people that were getting the delivery, his name was Miriam. So now, historically, it puts Miriam in that house. The medium picked up a Miriam that's there, and we have an EVP. So you see how we're starting to formulate what evidence might be. So it's not one piece. It's a whole bunch of pieces that support each other to say, hey, I've got this going on, or this individual may be here.
I think you're trying to fool with us here, Richard.
I'm just saying the way it is.
No, that's right? That's yeah. I agree. Like, I mean, you know, all these things, these aspects that link to a single sort of entity, if you will, and give you that hard evidence, if you will.
I mean, ask yourself: have all the evidence that you've ever seen? You always have more questions. You always have. Are you fully satisfied?
I mean, look what we're dealing with, right? I mean, look what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, you know, something that without this, you know, outside the scope of science, right? So,
of course, yeah. But you ask yourself, any evidence brought forward, or what people perceive as evidence, and say, here it is. Do you walk away fully satisfied that is evidence of the afterlife?
Yeah.
No, you always have that doubting question.
Obvious.
What is it?
Did you want to add something to that, Jeff?
No, it's basically Richard's is spot on, because like what we are doing, like what I'm doing basically when I go to places and do a video, I'm living an experience. I'm not doing a proper investigation. To do a proper investigation, you have to be there for a long amount of time or many times at the same place and get base readings, and you know, you have to be thorough. But what we do, we just film our experiences. So to gather evidence, like Richard is saying, you have to go there once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 100 times, because you have to. you start to learn about the history of the house. You start to learn like who was living in the house, who may have died in the house, who have built that house, and so on and so on. So when we go to some places and we investigate, when the history is there and it's verifiable and you can check all the records and everything, that's good. But some places, like we found out recently, make some of this history to make that location more appealing, and you have to be careful with that. And so,
yep, I agree.
It's like this, Steve. And Gene's right. You know, you have to go a great deal of times. You have to spend a lot of time on a property. And I look at it as like building a relationship.
Absolutely.
If there's something there,
yeah.
well, how many people have you met, say on a first date or a first meeting, and you know everything about them? You don't. You hardly know anything about it. Even if you spent 4 hours in a room over beer talking to them, you hardly know anything about them. It's only that relationship that builds over time, months, maybe even years, that you're going to learn who they are, what they're about, and what's going on.
We're still trying to figure you out, Richard.
Well, you're not going to do
that might have to wait until next year. We can do a deep dive on
Richard. You're going to do it. You can put the whole team on it. It's not going to.
Yeah.
Okay, I know one of your mediums.
Yeah.
And
I'll get the scoop from her.
Oh.
They're not allowed to read me, buddy.
They're not allowed to read you, yeah.
Okay, we'll keep it PG this time.
So Kassy, out of the time that you've been now investigating the paranormal, like how have you seen yourself progressing as an investigator?
I think I'm going. That's a really great question. I think I'm going more. I'm not saying I'm growing more skeptic, but I'm not rushing to every creek. For example, I was at the real Conjuring House. It's no demons. So it was so noisy. So like every little noise, you're like, oh no, that was just whatever. So like you have to be really careful what you're hearing. And I always make a note when I record video, I'll be like, I'll hear something. Usually I don't know if you guys know who Joe Vitale is, but he mentioned it in the video. Like if I hear something, make a point, because usually I hear disembodied voices really easily. But like even there, it's so hard because I'm like, it could be any old building, any house that has creaks, right? So I think I go into, I think I'm being a little bit more logical now. And another thing that back in the day I was like, oh my gosh, it's a ghost, because I never was like that. Like even when I thought apps were the thing, and I don't believe in apps now, but like I felt like, oh okay, and I just kept going about my day, like, or my questions or whatever, right? Never like I don't know. So I think I just a little bit more logical, I guess, in my approach now, and a little bit more open, like I guess more open, I don't know, open-minded and a little bit more logical, I think, and skeptic. So
well, and that's something I would ask Richard too. I mean, more because Richard's more of a grassroots sort of approach to the paranormal. What are your thoughts about all these apps?
Yeah, I don't buy into all this stuff. I mean, even the equipment that's used, nothing's specifically designed for hunting paranormal.
Yeah.
But certain equipment's helpful. I mean, you're looking for anomalous activity within the environment. So the only way we're going to make those connections is by trial and error, right? So this is how we get into Gauss meters and doing EVP work and doing temperature fluctuations and what do they mean. But I think a lot of error happens because people don't understand quite what that piece of equipment does and what the parameters are, and what they might be looking at. What's it telling them? You know what I mean? And how to connect the dots. So if I've got a Gauss meter, it's telling me that there's something going on. Say I'm picking up 6 milligauss. Okay, why am I picking it up? Right? So I bring something else in. I might bring in some old school stuff. I might bring a compass in and use that compass and see if it reacts. I've had a compass, I put it in that field and it goes crazy. It starts spinning. But is it paranormal, or is there some kind of geological?
And that's the question. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. So you need to look. You have to, and this is why investigation takes so long, because now you have to investigate that. You have to rule it out, or say, hey, no.
And most wouldn't even think of that. They wouldn't even. That's not even a thought.
I use devices.
It's more interesting. It's more romantic to say, hey, it's a ghost doing it.
Yeah. Well, right? Yeah.
And it's less work for the individual, and it's, hey, it's cool, look. But as a real investigator, you have to get to the heart of the matter and find out what is occurring.
Absolutely.
And you can't say it's paranormal until you've actually said everything that could possibly be normal is ruled out. So it's a lot of work. It's a pain in the arse.
Like, when we were at Bobby Mackey's, we had our REM pod go off, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is so weird, because it seemed like it was answering questions. Turns out it was the train that was parked out behind, and it was the radio setting it off.
Yeah.
So, like, we spent so long trying to figure out, like, what is, like, we're like, oh, first, we were like, oh my gosh, because it was weird and whatever, but then we realized, no, like, it was the friggin' train. So, like, you have to, like, we spent so much time. Like, I wish I could be in locations longer. I wish I could, like, a lot of times I can't be in a place more than one day, but, like, I wish, because I was like, you're just debunking yourself at the time.
So I have a question for you. And I've been asked this question too. And my answer is, I don't go there because we have perfectly good ghosts here.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you, why do you, I mean, you're based in Ontario, but you go to the US to hunt spirit. Why not hunt the spirit here, where you could spend the time? It would cost you less money.
True.
And you could actually pour more money into your research.
And that's I want to get into that too, Richard, since you brought that up too.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I
have done lots of locations in Ontario. I've just done when we did the ones in the US, I was like collabing with some friends that are from the US. In Australia, so that was why we were there. I was part of an event in Virginia City, so that's why those ones. But I have, and I guess I'm trying to learn more about locations in Ontario, just because I'm not as familiar, because I've only I guess not as familiar. So I am been trying to, like, I did a lot of scouting in the past, like last week, but no one's responded back. But they're also not known like Shaw Festival, but they won't answer. They haven't answered my messages. But
yeah, I know it's a pain.
And the thing is, the places in the US are more accessible than here in Canada. Unfortunately, there are places that we want to investigate, but we get shut down because people go, well, we don't have ghosts, or they will deny anything possibly paranormal.
Yeah.
And I figured out the more when you go east, it's funny because you go in Nova Scotia and everybody, everybody will welcome you to investigate.
Yeah.
Every freaking, even an Airbnb, if it's in an old house, oh yeah, we had something strange. You want to investigate it? Yeah, go ahead. But you come here in Quebec, you get shut down like every place you want to investigate, unless it's abandoned. In Ontario, we have a couple of places, but you have to really dig to know who to call, who to contact, to the person to contact to get in the building. And sometimes they will ask for crazy amount of money just to be there for like 4 hours.
I'll be brutally honest about this too, Richard, and I think you'll probably kind of agree with me on this, Richard. A lot of the places here in Ontario, they will look at you and what you've done and your resume, how long you've been doing this for. They want to make sure you're not coming in just as a thrill. There's a lot of people who at first they don't want to have anything to do with paranormal, but then there's always somebody that says, yeah, I could probably do it. Like, I remember getting into places like the Grand Theater in London.
Right.
It was hard, but when I spoke to the owner, the manager, it was, I told him, I said, look, the only reason why we want to come in is we want to just literally survey the premise.
Yeah.
Just audio, visual, you name it. We're not there to we're not like literally looking to destroy the place.
Yeah.
We just want to go in and investigate the claims that you're hearing of this place. And that's all.
Yeah.
Right. Same with the Hiram Walker Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, no, forget that. Absolutely no. We don't want anyone in there. In fact, we had a series of investigations set up in there. But after the very first time we went in there and we presented some of the findings from the first night that we investigated that place.
Yeah. We're losing you, Steve.
You're losing me?
Oh, it sounds
Are
good.
you okay?
It's buffering.
Oh, my buffering?
No, maybe on his end.
Is it just me?
Maybe. Yeah, I think it might be just you.
Oh,
This night is haunted.
oh, it's very haunted.
Everything's good. No, everything.
Okay. So literally after we presented the what we had found and some of the stuff that we're going to investigate a little bit more, it's like something. I think what it was is we worked with impact and you're familiar with Pam, right?
You're very faint. You're like
Yeah,
Yeah.
now something's going
Can
on.
Can you hear me?
Now you
Now.
can hear you. Yeah.
now you're good.
Okay.
You sounded muffled.
So, I told you this night is haunted, man.
Wow, that is crazy. That's crazy.
I think they're having Northern Lights tonight, so could it be the Northern Lights?
That's insane. That's crazy. Anyways, where was it? So an empath that we work with, Pam. You're familiar with Pam, right, Richard?
Yeah.
Right. I've never worked with anybody, and I'll tell you this: I've worked with a lot of, psychic mediums, empaths, sensitives, you name it, and I've never come across anybody quite like Pam.
Mm-hmm.
And I, she went in and she read this place with no prior knowledge, absolutely no knowledge at all. And I'm very skeptical with mediums, period. But what she was absolutely spewing to the owners of the Hiram Walker Ranch, literally, the wife was in tears. The fact that she knew what she did and what she was saying, it was like, wait, how did she know this? It doesn't make any sense, right? And I think it kind of spooked them to the point where, okay, well, maybe we may not want them in there again. Maybe they're getting a little too close to something.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of weird stuff that's happened there. I'll tell you that. In fact, they were wanting to put a pool on the premise and started digging, but they had to stop because they had found some native burial ground.
Yeah.
Mm.
So they had to stop. So there's some weird stuff going on there. But just an example, right? I mean, I think most people they want to see a sort of a resume that kind of rings. Okay, look, we could trust these people. The work looks good, but that doesn't always work. I mean, it's the paranormal, right? And a lot of people either they believe it or they don't. They don't want to believe it. They don't want anything to do with it.
It's more than that, right? I mean, there's a lot of reasons. Like, hey, I live in small town Ontario, so the challenges I have is majority of this town is fueled by religion.
Yeah.
So do I get a lot of open doors? No. They're usually just slammed in my face because, hey, that's the heathen guy. Be careful with him. And then you've got the other side of the coin, right? You've got a lot of activity out here. But real estate agents out here, I'll tell them, be careful because you don't want to stigmatize your property. If somebody asks, is that haunted? You have to tell them. So then they're going, well, as soon as I invite him in to investigate, I've got to tell somebody. If they ask, yeah, my place might be haunted. And then now you've got astigmatism on your property. What's the value now? So is there a problem? So there's a lot of challenges. And, so you've got to work around it. Maybe you have to move outside your district a little bit to find a place that's to like. I hate doing people's houses. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. I really shy away from it. I don't want to get involved. So what I do is I look for properties that are not being used right now, or they're owned by a municipality, like a historical property or a theater or a hospital wing that's not being used, or places like that, right? And I go in, and it takes time. Like I've got 45 years of doing this.
Yeah.
And not that say you need 45 years to do it, but 3 is great. You've got 3 years under your belt. Build a resume, right? What have you done? And you have to coax the client and show them that you can work in a trusting relationship. When I did the city of Mississauga, and I worked with the people that run the city, I told them, I said, listen, I'm not going to give away the Cadbury secret. If I come across information that may be harmful or questionable in privacy, I'm coming to you.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me, no, we don't talk about that. No problem. It's gone. And I ran through a ton of stuff that we just don't talk about, right? That we discovered in certain properties. And I took it forward and they said, no, you can't. That's harmful to these people or those people or whatever. Okay, fine. It's gone. And you, honestly, that's what you do. No, we don't talk about it. And that's how you build a relationship, and they can trust you. And then when you go to another client, you can use them as a reference. And when they call and they say, hey, can you trust it? Yeah, are you kidding? They know all kinds of stuff they're not talking about. When I did the book at the Canadian National Exhibition, I'm probably the only author that took the entire manuscript, gave it to the management, and said, read it before it goes to the publisher. If there's anything in there you don't want, take it out. And they read it, and they said, yeah, it's cool. They gave it a stamp of approval. Then it went to the publishing house. Because that's how you build a relationship, right? It's got to be based on trust.
Well, it's I've always found like again how Kassy and Jeff have brought to light, about how accessible the locations in the U.S. have been, And it's not only that, it's been how propped up a lot of these locations have been too, us here in Canada as well, right? I mean, for years, a lot of places like, Waverly Hills and, the Stanley Hotel and, all sorts of places that, hey, I love to investigate that place, but the cost is incredible for some of these places. It's absolutely horrendous.
Talk about the cost. Kassy can tell you a thing or two about cost when she went to the Conjuring House.
Yeah.
She was a victim of that greed.
I don't. I only went because I was meeting up with friends and I thought oh, sorry, I might be cutting out.
No, it's okay. Hey, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm like,
go ahead.
I might be buffering, so I'm really sorry. I thought you were talking. No, the only reason why I went to the Conjuring House is because we were with friends, and I wanted to see if all the hoopla was out there. It wasn't, and I'm glad I went, but I'll never go again. It was a great place to. I mean, we didn't sleep, but I could have slept there very nicely. So.
Nice.
But it's there to say that some places will take advantage of the hype about the place, about the building, and you'll go to other places that you will just the Monroe House. It's $175. There's no Wi-Fi. The electricity has been redone in the place. Place is amazing. You go there, you have snacks, you have drinks, you have a fire pit in the backyard. It's a great place to investigate, but you don't have to take a mortgage to go investigate there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But here's the question. I understand if you want to build a little paranormal empire, say.
Yeah.
So you go to these popular haunts, right? Everybody goes there. Everybody pays their money. Everybody gets to spend the night. And you're going to build a YouTube channel. Hey, look, I went to a popular place and I did I understand that. But to me, that's not investigating. I've done dozens and dozens of places. Very popular places.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not popular in the sense where there's a lineup of investigators waiting to get in the door, and they're paying. I've never paid a cent to get anywhere, not once. I've done the CNE. I mean, just about every building there in the property. They allowed me to spend 13 months doing it. I did just about every historical property that the city of Mississauga owns.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I said, hey, this is the coolest one. And they said, okay, here, and have it for 3 years. I had it for 3 years. I just called the security guy, opened the door. Okay. Anytime I wanted to go.
Here's a couple $100 for you.
I did. No, but I did.
I know.
It never cost me a cent. I did Casa Loma. I did. We were the only team ever invited to do the Ontario Parliament.
Yeah. CNE.
Tons of places, but my idea of investigating is to find the hidden gem. Nobody's been there.
Yeah.
Nobody's trampled through it. No, there's no nonsense with it. It may be haunted. It might not be haunted. But that's for the investigator to find out. And if it is, you don't have 8,400 opinions on what's going on there because somebody spent a half an hour running through it with a Gauss meter. That's not investigating. Investigate, find that gem, seek it out, and look at it.
And I find that finding a place like a location that will allow you to have repeat visits, to run a research detail. While investigating, and I've been lucky to find a couple places like that, and to run research over the past 10, 15 years now.
Yeah.
So
they're out there, but that's part of investigating. You have to do the research.
Yeah, that's
right. You have to research.
Like that's me right now.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, Gun. That's me like right now because like I've been scouting. I emailed so many different people like that are not well known. I mean, they're well known in our area, but not necessarily as haunted, like theaters and different things, right? But the ones responded back. So I think that's the half the battle is just trying to get in my foot in the door too. So, but yeah, I totally agree. That'd be like a hidden. It'd be awesome to find a hidden gem.
Yeah, no, it is. I know it's hard. It's very hard. I mean, I've been lucky because I worked in law enforcement and security, and I sort of got.
Chewie, land the ship. Right.
Hey, man.
Turn off the plasma. Yeah.
He's
shut down. I'm flying on manual now. Yeah. Chewie, shut it down. Okay.
Matt's gonna inject his British humor into a little bit of Canadian.
Yeah. That's it. That's just put it down. Matt? Full off now. Full off. We don't want them scanning us. Yeah.
How's it going, Matt?
Brilliant. I'm just listening in. Carry on.
So, let me ask you because you invest. You will not necessarily investigate. You have investigated some locations, but you primarily urbexing. But I mean, you've gone on some paranormal investigations. But I mean, like, what's it like there in the UK in terms of like going and investigating some places? I mean, do they charge ludicrous amount of money to get into some of these places, or a lot of them welcome you in? Oh, no audio.
We lost you, Matt.
Yeah, we lost you, Matt.
No audio. Hello. Audio now.
Yeah.
Audio. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I
Sure,
got to
set it off.
Yeah. Chewie turned all the switches off, and I just had to turn one switch back on. Yeah. Some places will charge you money, but that's the tourist trail, isn't it? It's just like But if you're a big enough sort of YouTuber, you can do a special deal with him. You say, look, we're promoting this place. We're giving you an advert, and you're going to get a load of people on the back of this. So, what do you say? And they often say, well, yeah, next to nothing or free, And
that's the new reality of a lot of these places too. Because I know you have a popular YouTuber that has tons of viewers and can kind of conduct that sort of exposure to, say, a location that is
you're targeting the audience that they need,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we really necessarily have that issue here in Canada at all. I mean, do you see that, Richard? I don't know if we really see that here too much. You see it in the U.S. quite a bit.
Well, the U.S., yeah, the U.K., of course. This is a byproduct of paranormal TV, right? Zach Bagans. I give Zach Bagans the credit. He created this paranormal storm of tourism, right? The Washoe Club, for example. Nobody ever heard of this place. He went there. He said, "Give me access, and I'll get you a whole pile of people, and they'll pay a fortune to come in." And he did a show on it, and now there's a lineup to get in there, and they're making a fortune, right? So he created this problem, and any paranormal hotspot, as they say, there's a lineup. The lineup to get in, and they're just making money over. And it's not real investigating. You can't call it a good investigation if you and 100 of your closest friends are running around and go, "Oh, I got some evidence." How do you know it's evidence? There's 100 people here.
Just say hello to everybody else. Hello, Alex. Hello, Harley. Hello, Kassy. Not the same spelling as my Kassy. My Kassy is my dog is over the Rainbow Bridge now, but she was an absolute sweetheart.
Oh.
Yeah. Richard, hello.
Matt?
Chin.
Yeah, Matt.
Chin. I'm on the rum. the rum.
He's on the rum.
Oh yeah. I got the coconut rum.
The coconut rum.
Do you like nuts?
That's what the pirate. That's what the pirate.
I like nuts. I like nuts, but nobody ain't Don't take my coconuts. Yeah.
So what about a place like Whitby Psych Asylum there, Alex? What do you think that place would have been able to like survive if all of a sudden somebody goes, some $1 million subscribe viewer whatever YouTuber goes, hey, look at boof.
No,
and then all of a
because
sudden,
they redeveloped that property.
I mean, before that happened though.
Well, they would have needed to do a lot of work to the buildings. There's a lot of asbestos there.
Yeah.
So they would have needed to really clean it up if someone of that magnitude were to go there and say, hey, listen, I can promote this place. You'll have a ton of people. You can charge a fee to get in.
Yeah.
But they would have had to at least, for safety reasons, really, really clean it up. And there was a lot of buildings. There must have been at least 20 to 30 buildings in that property.
Asbestos is a very misunderstood thing. I don't think asbestos is such a problem as people think.
It may not be, but you just don't want to take that chance.
Yeah, so what you do is you have to get people to sign a disclaimer saying, I understand I'm going into a building that may have hazards, maybe a hazard to my health. I may fall, slip, injure myself. I may also come into contact with asbestos, and it is my responsibility to take my personal care of myself, respirator, sort of like a face mask. It's up to you, because I mean, asbestos in a lot of places that are damp, it's all in the damp, it's in the floor. So as you walk, you can kick the dust up, but generally, for a single person to go into a building that has asbestos, you can work on your own house, which may have asbestos in it. And the UK law says that if a contractor comes in, you have to have a contractor who has full respirators, wearing the full hazmat, sort of like full bodysuit, because they're constantly exposing themselves to asbestos. But an individual working on their own house, if they knock something and it's got asbestos, you don't get enough of a dose to basically make it warrant telling you can't work on your own house. So it's up to you. It's up to the individual. If you want to avail yourself of what the risks are and you want to mitigate those risks, you can sign a disclaimer and say, no, we will not take you to court. We will not sue you for damages done to myself. Disclaim, and then the person can have liability insurance for the building beyond that for people they didn't invite in. So if somebody gets into the building that they didn't invite, they can have liability insurance for that. But for somebody who's invited in, who signs a disclaimer, happy days.
Yep. Happy days. Kassy, have you ever been in a location that has been pretty run down? Like, I mean, you're like, okay, maybe this isn't such a great idea.
One comes to mind is Bobby Mackey's. That place should be, it is being torn down. So that would
it's been torn down.
That place was not safe at all, and also not haunted. But it was so gross. We were jumping, like we were testing something. We were trying to figure out, like, we had some movement or something. We were jumping around, and all of a sudden we're watching everything like vibrate, and we're like, don't stop jumping. And then we went into the basement, and you all saw like the beams were all like not proper. It was so scary.
You could have just gone woomph.
it literally, you could have. It was gross. We were afraid to put things down. It was just so gross. It was so gross.
And black mold,
Yeah, black mold, another issue.
Recently, I went to an abandoned Duplessis Orphans Asylum here in Quebec. I thought it was torn down, but it's still up. And I went with my friends, the Outcasts. And you could smell the damp, and the grass was growing out of some places. A tree was growing out of the basement, like, just to tell you how derelict it was. But I liked it, but it's not my kind of place. it's not the places that I like. like I'm like the old sergeant in the army. I'm too old for this shit. So like cut a couple of years off, and I could go around. And we don't have enough abandoned buildings here to do it.
Well, yeah, they seem to tear them down here really
Oh, here?
quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
really
Yeah,
quick.
as soon as
Pisses me
there's
off
an
to no
abandoned
end.
building here, and especially that asylum, they're about to tear it down because somebody bought the land, and that is the thing over here. It's the land. As soon as the land comes available, well, people will buy it, tear everything down, and build like a residential place for families and stuff. So
Yeah, and James brought up something too that is quite common now too. Places that are forbidden, or police will come in and simply,
oh yeah,
no matter what, they don't care. You're not supposed to be here. Bang. Um,
Trespass in the United States, in some states, can be illegal. In
Yeah.
the UK, trespass is not illegal unless you commit a criminal act.
okay.
So you can be asked to leave, but if you haven't done anything wrong, you haven't committed a criminal act, you can be asked to leave. And as long as you leave when asked, fine. If you refuse to leave, it's then considered aggravated.
Yeah.
So it becomes
Yeah.
an aggravated trespass, which is illegal. So then they can arrest you. So as long as you go, not a problem. And they go, can we just check your bags, make sure you haven't been stealing anything? Yep, no problem. Look, it's just camera gear, lights. You want to check my pockets? Yep. No, we haven't got any drugs. We haven't got any weapons. We're not stealing anything. We're just here investigating. And they go, off you go.
over here in Quebec, it's $125 fine.
Well, that's cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap, but if you get caught
A
the
lot.
second time in the same building, I think then
Ooh.
it's considered like in
Misdemeanor?
production by infraction or some.
Yeah,
They take
it
it up a
escalates.
notch.
It escalates. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just okay. I'll take the ticket and I'll go ahead. I'll leave.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I don't do lots, and I don't know where all the abandoned buildings and stuff like that. I don't run after those. I will go after historical places, battlefields, and
Mhm.
place that I can relate to. And well, yes, I will go to the United States and investigate those places because, well, the history, yes, I will say it. The hype of the place. Sometimes the name
Yeah.
will draw me to. Yeah, I want to find out if it's really haunted. If everybody that goes there are full of the brown stuff. So I want to find out by myself. But like Richard said, I want to find that gem. I want to find that house that makes you say,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
come back here.
Mm.
And I have that gem, and Dom is in the chat right now. We have a gem like that right here in Quebec. It's called the Old Courthouse in L'Assomption.
Yeah.
Now it's accessible, but it wasn't for a long period of time. And the place is massively active because with all the things that happen that are verified by history because they have records on it. So everything that happens there, and it's the first time that I saw a picture with a figure was at that place. And I know that that night when my friend Dom was taking the picture, the only three people that were in the building at that point of time were in the same room. But that's my word, unfortunately.
Well, it is what you experience, isn't it? You experience something, people don't believe it, but they weren't there. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. All right, hold tight, guys. We got to take a break for New Visions Radio Network. We'll be right back. Get your drinks, get your whatever. Take care and look it.
Smoke your beers and drink your wares.
Yeah, thank you for listening to us on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course, watching us here on YouTube. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Hello.
Oh, ID. That's a good effect. I like that.
Good evening. I'm Richard Palmisano, the founder of the Searcher Group. It's a paranormal company, the oldest in Canada. I founded in 1979, which not only makes me old, but makes me doing paranormal research and field work for just under 45 years now. I am also an author, researcher, and lecturer on the paranormal. I've written 6 books now, and I really enjoy coming on with Steve and Alex on Nocturnal Frequency Radio, as well as listening to the shows, because there's a lot of interesting guests there. I like it, looking at this stuff, because it opens your mind to other options and other alternative thoughts. And there's always time to learn new things. So I hope you join us and come and see Nocturnal Frequency Radio. Thank you.
So let me ask you, what makes for good radio?
My 5 favorite songs all day long.
Play it again.
No.
As many commercials as physically possible.
What? No, why would that be good?
Great music, great talk shows, no commercials!
Precisely. New Visions Radio gives you no commercials, no nonsense, just the best new music and the best talk all day long, 24/7, 365. NewVisionsRadio.com.
Hey guys, Kristen here, host of the Paranormal Girl podcast, a bingeable exploration and deep dive education about the paranormal for the skeptical believer. Some of my past season topics have included shadow people, Mandela effect, demons, and UFOs. Currently, I am tackling Bigfoot. I have been sharing this journey with my audience since early 2021, and I have learned a lot these last few years. It's truly a mysterious world out there beyond our perceptions, and reality is just not what it seems. I have also, since the start, met some awesome folks like Alex and Steve, and I've really enjoyed watching and learning from them and also joining them on their show. Their guests are always outstanding, their listeners are just the coolest, and these hosts are some of my favorite people. I recommend their show to anyone looking for an intelligent and fun conversation about the paranormal amongst friends. So join me on my investigation, join Steve and Alex on theirs, and enjoy. Now back to the show. You are watching Nocturnal Frequency Radio.
That you are. You're back on the New Visions Radio Network, and of course here on YouTube. Yeah.
You wanted to see the size of the thing I'm printing?
Not really, but you're going to. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
oh, you got a 3D printer.
That's
Nice.
great.
That's just one part, but I was printing this part.
Excellent. Oh, the Ghostbusters. Oh, my God, man. That's going to be such good. When you put that together, that's going to be brilliant, mate. That's going to be huge.
So, it's going to be a humongous. It's 200 and so parts. So, yeah, lots of fun.
The Ecto.
Ecto 1.
So, that is cool.
Oh,
the
wow.
The fun part's going to be painting it.
Yeah.
Painting, sending.
I was going to say, I hope you printed that in glow in the dark.
Yeah,
PLA.
no, but I'm trying to find that glow in the dark resin. It's really hard to find.
Really? Well, yeah, that'd be awesome. Glow in the dark. Kassy, let me ask you. So, okay, where do you see Weeping Willow Paranormal going? Where do you see it going now that you've sort of got your feet down on the ground and you've got a few investigations under your belt over the years? Where do you see it going?
I would really love to kind of target more areas in Niagara, just because that's where we're based out of. And kind of like I know we've kind of been talking about, but lesser known places. There's been a bunch of theaters that I've been contacting, so I'm hoping to get a little bit more lesser known areas and hopefully get my foot in the door there. I was really hoping to get into the Shaw Festival before they shut their doors, but I doubt that'll happen, but I'm going to keep bugging them. So, so yeah, definitely I think more locations in Niagara, just because we do have some coming up, but like just more. So.
Well, perhaps we could include you with Jeff in the Spruce Lane farmhouse. I think you'd really enjoy that place.
I can't wait to go there.
Cool.
The only time I was supposed to go, you texted me. It was a dud, but at the last moment, hey, you want to come? Yeah, right. I'm gonna drive like 9 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, things didn't happen too well, but we were able to get in there again, and very, very interesting place. I mean, Alex, you've been there. You know what it's like. Richard, you've been there. And you picked out a spot that literally had an incident happen 2 separate times, which was really weird.
What do you mean?
Your tri-field meter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird because there was no electrical outlet or anything in that.
No, we searched everything in the walls, under the floor. There was nothing there, but it's pretty weird. And that frequency 4 hertz. I mean, it shouldn't be there, but
yeah,
and that if you do some research, the 4 hertz frequency is fear. So I don't know. Is it reading? Maybe we're reading somebody in the team is afraid to be there, or maybe there's something there that's maybe afraid of the investigator.
Remember, harmonics. You could be getting an octave.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be an 8 hertz, which is and you could be getting like an octave of that, which is possibly going through pipes under the ground and being picked up. 8 hertz is a long pipe.
Oh, yeah.
And you may be getting harmonics. You should be getting 16. You'll be getting 4, 2. You'll be getting harmonic off spikes. But yeah.
I mean, and I'm thinking too with that, but. I mean, what are we talking about, Matt? Like, I mean, how early would this kind of be installed? Like, I mean, we're talking about the area being unchanged, probably.
You know the Earth's resonant frequency.
Yeah.
And they transmit ELF.
Yeah.
Yeah, for submarines, so it can be picked up underwater.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so there's all sorts of signals going out there, but they're very, very low. It's Morse, basically. Morse carrier wave, not AM. It's probably like SSB Morse. Yeah, and single sideband Morse, and that stuff goes right through the Earth, right round the Earth, goes through everything. It's like goes into the water. It's amazing. It's really, really powerful, but. HAARP, the HAARP project, the microwave emitters that heats the ionosphere.
Yeah,
that was a new way of creating ELF because an ELF, it can be like 50 miles, 100 miles long antenna. Literally that long. So, but you with a small microwave array in a field, a HAARP array, you can resonate the ionosphere to make those waves for you with just a small amount of power, whereas like an ELF antenna needs a massive amount of power because the loss along the antenna is massive. So you've got to put a load of power in at the beginning to be able to resonate the whole length of that antenna. But with a small amount of microwave power, using the ionosphere to become your antenna, you can use the sky to be your antenna. And it's like, boom, you can then send ELF all around the planet.
And this is something that we've talked about often on the show. The fact that experiences that people have, paranormal experiences, sightings, just plain experiences. Could they have been a direct result of these sort of frequencies? I mean, it's quite. I mean, a lot of time. I mean, EMF. It's a known fact that it can manipulate your your thinking.
Yeah.
High
Right?
EMF, yes.
So, I mean, do you think this is more common than anyone really thinks?
It depends who you speak to, because of course they don't like to admit that microwaves and mobile phones affect people, because if they admit that, then they're liable. So all of the research is skewed, and all of the research bodies that do the research have been bought. Yeah. So the military know exactly what microwaves do, and can be used for mood altering. You know, can be used to inject a message into people's heads over a long distance, so they can influence in a war, for instance. They know the enemy is going to be over in this area, so they can bounce a signal up, get it in there, and say, like, put down your weapons. God says, give in, submit. God says no. God says no. And they can do all that sort of stuff. It's well known about, but they won't talk about this openly, because yes, it's all in. You can read the documents, you can read the patents, you can read everything about it. Yeah. But the people don't. The general public don't. You know, it's not widely talked about. So therefore, they go, no, there is no danger from microwaves. No, radio waves cannot be received by humans. No, 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 no. But the actual research says yes, 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 yes.
What do you think, Richard? I mean, the thought that, you know, these experiences that a lot of people are having, do you think they're forced?
Well, I think, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot going on that can cause this phenomenon.
Yeah.
But I've seen enough to know that it's real. So, although we have things that can cause the phenomena, doesn't detract from the fact that there is bona fide phenomena going on.
Yeah.
As an investigator, that all that responsibility falls on our shoulders to sort it out and determine, is it real, or is it nature? Is it man-made? What's the cause? And to get down to the heart of the situation and determine that. That falls on us. That's our responsibility. We decided to be investigators. Well, we need to investigate. We need to dig it out and find out. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you're not going to get the right answer. And you need to be honest and say, I don't know.
Yeah. So, Richard, can I just say something, Richard? You know, the Earth resonates at 7.83 hertz.
Right.
Yeah. So half of that would be about 4 hertz.
Right.
Yeah, which is an octave of. Yeah, which is a lower octave. You've got to be careful that you're not picking up just the natural buzz of the Earth and an octave down. But take that away if you can actually, because what you do is you sample in multiple areas. It's hard to do because you've actually got to take a sample from various areas and you subtract all the samples. What you do is you do like a mix of the samples where they meet, and then it'll cancel out all the interference, and then you can find the signal which is actually being projected by something else. Right. But that requires a lot of equipment. You've got to like take remote sensing from a lot of areas, and then you can phase cancel. You can phase cancel out, so you're just left with the signal. If there's something being transmitted, you will get the signal with none of the fuzz, none of the natural fuzz. Yeah.
So this is when, you know, it starts off being a hobby. It turns into something real serious.
Well, there are signals all around the planet. So
Absolutely. We're interacting with different frequencies on a daily basis constantly. Our body's bombarded.
And the Earth resonates magnetic fields, north and south poles, and those fields are active. Like when Kassy was telling, you have to think rationally. You have to really think out of the box. You have to think, all right, what can cause, like, even I use REM pods. I know there's an area on the REM pod that anything could trigger REM pod, but I will find it interesting when a REM pod is triggered in the bunker. surrounded by concrete. It's like, okay, that's interesting. You know, it's those moments, but like Matt says, you have different frequencies that can travel through freaking buildings and everything. So you're not really certain, is it the earth that I'm picking up, or is it paranormal, or is it, you know?
And we haven't even touched on the quantum level.
Yeah,
quantum level.
Yeah, you're the alien guy.
Yeah. See, so Alex, just think, man, it's not you that's actually the ghost deterrent.
Right.
No, he is. No, he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah.
If you want to ever have a ghost-free house, just call me over.
Yes, he's got a side business going now, folks.
Yeah. It's like they hate it when I do this. They hate it when I do this.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's because you haven't licked your fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, I won't lick my fingers when I'm in a dirty house. Oh,
God.
And you talk about crazy places.
Yeah.
I know that Matt went to some really
That's been to
places.
some great places.
That guy went to freaking Aleister Crowley's house.
Yep.
One of his houses.
And we had some direct stuff coming through there. Absolutely direct.
Insane. I saw that video. I when I can't watch it, I'll watch it again. And man, it's like the guy was basically worshiping. He was a battery for bad energy. It's like everything I will own will be impregnated by bad energy.
Yeah.
But
he's kind of misunderstood as well. I mean, I've actually been with a bunch of Satanists and like at a festival for all religions. And I was saying to them, so come on then, what's the deal with Mr. Crowley then? What do you think? And they were going, it's kind of like he was just showing off because he was, how do they put it? They said,
was an eccentric.
He was an eccentric and he was demonized. So because he was demonized, he said, well, I will take on the person of a demon, the persona of a demon then. And I will laugh back at you being the ultimate demon, and it's like, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. And that was his attitude. It's kind of like, well, if you're going to call me a demon, then I'll be a demon. But I'm not sure he was necessarily demonic, but he was tapping into the ether, the spirit world, the messages. And there's a lot of messages out there, and you can go light, dark, and you can go alien, and you can go
that's
God.
Another thing, the notion of God and demon, that's man-made. That's it's man-made. You don't have. There's no demons with the horns and stuff. No, you have good and bad energy, like in life. You have good and bad people.
Yin yang.
Exactly, but religions were implanted into societies to control them. So what best way to control people? Well, you have to create something good, a god. You have to create something bad, a demon.
Yeah.
So when
you get the white pieces on the chessboard and the black pieces, and you pit them against each other.
Exactly. Like Kassy says, you have to be rational. You have to be think with history. You touch the rampart. What the frig is a rampart? The round thing with the aerial, the metal stick sticking out. Oh, okay. Now I kind of understand what you're saying. And especially when you trying to communicate with people that live like in the 19th, 18th, and 17th century. And when the word demon comes through, well, there's a demon. No, they're probably thinking you are the demon because you're dressed differently. You're using devices they never saw before. And the way you talk.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting, Jeff. That's very interesting.
Have you
From
you
the
heard of the like
perspective of them looking at us in the future.
Have you heard of like the translation effect? I mean, I'll whip through this really quickly. So, you know, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and look this stuff up. But people go into an environment where they walk in and they go into a different environment. They're like back in time, and there are people dressed in different clothes, and they're talking in a strange tongue. They're using strange money, but the person who's there, everyone kind of looks at them, but they don't see them as a future person. They see them as one of them. It's like you're translated. There's like a translation filter, so they see you as one of them. And then when you hand them a £10 note, they see you handing them a $1 note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like there's a translation filter through that experience. Yeah. Ever had anybody talk to you about that? Ever had any ghost experiences where people are talking about that? I've met people who've had those experiences.
Yeah, I wrote a theory. I wrote a theory on it covers part of that, and that's it's like a time slip.
Yep.
What it is so there's a lot of moving parts. It's sort of complicated, but I'm gonna water it down. So basically, when a spirit passes away, they use all their memory and emotion, and they build a reality.
Yeah, a bubble.
All their experiences and memories in life, and that's where they exist. So what happens is a whole bunch of people can experience the same time frame or timeline, and I call them clusters. So a whole pile of people are dead, and they remember a specific timeline. So they create a bigger memory bubble of that reality, and you walked into it.
Yeah,
and you've walked into it or phased into it. And it's sort of, imagine, have you ever had a sort of like a waking dream? You're sort of on that cusp of awake and asleep, and your clock radio, the alarm goes off and it's playing a song, but you're still tired. So you incorporate that song into a dream, sort of. Well, that's what they're doing. They're incorporating you into that reality as something that should be there. So they see you as part of that reality. You look normal. You look like you should belong. Where it gets out of control is somebody realizes, holy crap, what is this? They realize that you don't belong, and the bubble's gone, and they've retreated back into their reality, and you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
So it's a long theory. That's part of it. But it also explains ghost ships, ghost trains, stuff like that. Because it's basically a living reality for them. It's physical for them as well. And they can experience it within that reality. They can experience paranormal events as well. So if you can imagine a ghost experiencing a paranormal event. But they also project out important things in their lifetime. And those memories can become like a daydream. They can be brought out and manifest into a reality, like a ghost train. Mm-hmm. They used to see the train rocket by their old farmhouse every day at noon. So they're out there and they're having this little daydream about that train, and all of a sudden it's a reality, and some guy walking up the street goes, holy crap, I just saw a train come down here. So it's, it gets complicated. But
Kassy's going, what the hell have I gotten myself into here?
No, I'm just taking everything in. I'm absorbing everything. No, it's good.
How deep the rabbit hole goes.
I can experience that. Haven't yet.
The reality is, the longer you do this, the more mind you lose, right?
Yeah.
No, it goes the other way. The more you gain.
Yeah.
it's when you go to a battlefield and people say, "Hey, you hear the muskets and the cannons," and especially around the time where the battle happened, and it's because in probably in some parallel reality, the battle is still going on at that date.
Yeah,
it's like Gettysburg, or here in Quebec City, the Battle of the Plains of Abraham.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in August, you go over there and you see people dressed like people that were dressed back then, and you realize that, well, there's no fair, there's anything. Where are they? Where? They're gone.
it's not a reenactment. It's
real.
What is it? Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a hill nearby where people often see figures who look like they're going into battle, but they don't have legs. They just see the torso, from the knees upwards, but no feet. It's just like the top part walking. And that's quite commonly reported in a specific area where they put a what do they call it? It's called Adam's Grave. Yeah. So you got Knapp Hill and Adam's Grave, these two hills, and on the top of it they put a battlement, but it's just basically an earth mound, an earthwork, and it's like, I've seen things up there. I saw the Indian figures dancing around the man, and then they shrunk, and that was weird. But similar thing, you kind of you're tuning into that thing that is there and keeps flipping in and out, and it's like people who go up there, they just kind of looking around, and all of a sudden they go, whoa, people walking, where's their legs? And they go, what the and they look back, gone. It's like flip in, flip out.
Well, exactly, and it's because they see it the way it was. They remember the way it was, not the way we see it today. And we had, and Alex and Steve will know this place, is the Cawthra House.
Yeah.
How'd you spell that? How'd you spell it?
Cawthra?
CAWTHRA, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's good to know, because people can search it. I can search it later on.
Yeah. So when I investigated that place, I talked to a guy. He was a maintenance guy. He was brought in to do the air conditioning, and it's an old place. So to put in the air ducts, they had to raise the floor by 8 inches.
Yeah.
So they had to build a new floor above the old floor so they could run the duct work underneath. And
is this in
Mississauga?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got it. I searched it now. Yeah, thanks.
So he had the hatch open and he was working underneath to work out a problem, whatever the problem was with the AC. And he's working. He had his work lights and everything, and he heard a noise and he turned to look, and there was 2 women's feet and legs, old shoes, standing on the old floor that went through the new floor and vanished. But he looked at it and went, what the heck? And he banged his head and he pulled out of there, but there was nothing there.
Yeah.
So it was Mrs. Cawthra. She's like, what the hell is this guy doing? And she's walking on the old floor and doesn't even realize there's a new floor there, and scared the crap out of the work. So they see things as it was, not as it is.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to go in there, and it was quite an interesting place. I wish I had more time. I mean, we were in there for a few hours, but I'd really like to go back into that place. I don't know what the environment's like there now, Richard. I mean, how long has it been since you've been in there?
10 years. I don't know, about 10 years, I guess, or something. Maybe a bit longer. But I took a picture of the front door because they have all the plaques and the names above the door. And I took a picture of the front door and I looked at the camera and I went, what the hell is this? So I went and got it printed, and I came back the week later on the weekend, and I saw the manager, and I said, can you explain this photograph? And she said, when we look at it, and she's looking at it, and along the the front door and the plaques, and there's these little tiny windows that run down the side of the door.
Yeah.
And they're all dark green, except one. It was different color. It was almost like a translucent color. But it showed a reflection inside the house of these old types of wall sconces on the wall. Well, they're not there anymore. It's all drywall. So she dug out some old photos and showed me, yeah, they used to be there, like back in the day. So I'm catching a photograph of something that's not there, but was there 60 years ago.
Matt, I'll send you all his info.
What's that?
Just saying, get your links and your website and your books because, yeah.
Matt is kind of interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, the way I work is I do video and I just put it up there for everyone so it's free and just get it out there. I know books. I haven't got time to read books and my eyesight is not brilliant, so I listen to audiobooks and I just consume audiobooks like you would not believe. Yeah.
I used to be a big reader as well, but
I used to be years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
My eyesight's not so good now. Yeah.
You know, they have glasses for that, eh, Matt?
The thing is, right? When I read, it sends me to sleep. So I read about 5 pages, and I'm going, oh, and it sends me to sleep. So for me, it's like I read a book, 5 pages, next night 5 pages, and then in the daytime, if I drink a coffee, I can go 100 pages, 400 pages, just and finish a book in a day, you know. But like at night time, if I start to read, I'm just like, you know. So audiobooks. So when I'm driving, it's boring, and I just like consume.
Fall asleep. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately,
reading while driving is not recommended. Audiobooks.
Unfortunately, those aren't up to my. I can't make those choices. It's the publishing house that makes those choices for me.
Okay, you can have Steve. You could have Steve narrate your books. So
definitely put you to sleep then.
Yeah.
What do you mean with his sexy Canadian voice like this? You mean giving you all the audiobook sex that you need and the ghosties are coming to get you?
You want people to buy his books, not ask for a refund.
They'd be like quality control. I bought your book, but all the pages are stuck together.
Yeah.
Now I really do, Richard. Now I do want to do the narration for your books. Come on.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm going to plug somebody else's book, right? Annie Jacobson, I think it is. Phenomena.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a must read and a must audiobook. I have been literally crippled with the intense knowledge that is in this book. And it will literally, if it doesn't change your life, I just write to me and I will send you the money for the refund value of the book. Yeah.
What was that book again?
What was the name of the book?
Hang on, let me just make sure I'm getting this right. Phenomena, Annie Jacobson, I think it is. Annie Jacobsen, S-E-N, Phenomena, The Secret History of the U.S. Government's Psychic Spy Program. Yeah, it's called Phenomena, _, The Secret History of the U.S. Government's investigations into extrasensory perception. Right? Now, if this book does not land once you've read it like a bomb, like if somebody threw a grenade into your room and the grenade went off, if this book does not change your mind, right, I will send you the refund money for the book.
I put her website in the chat.
Those famous research done by the CIA as known as MK Ultra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we are. Look,
some
Annie
of those
Jacobson.com.
researches, oddly enough, I found out about that recently. It's my friend Dom that told me about that. That MK Ultra was conducting, the CIA was conducting some MK Ultra experiments here in Quebec, in Montreal, on orphans.
Yeah.
And some of
It's
them
always
were
the way,
very,
mate. It's always the way.
yeah, it's
Prisoners,
horrible.
yeah, asylums, everything, and the general public as well. You know, it's just like we are the sheep and we are for the cull.
The cull's not happening fast enough, in my opinion.
Well, Bob Dobbs says the Earth is going to end tomorrow, so you better pay Bob Dobbs your $30 so you can get off the planet on a pleasure saucer, so you can have your 70 virgins.
No. I got my
We'll
pleasure
take you-
saucer in the next room. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you get to leave the planet on one of these with your 70 pleasure virgins, and we can watch the Earth be destroyed from space, and you're perfectly safe. And I've paid my $30, so yeah, I'm totally sorted. I've got my ticket off the planet, and the Earth ends tomorrow, or is it on the 4th? Or I can't remember now. I'll have to look it up. It's July, X Day. Yeah, X Day.
Oh, we're past July, so I think that date's wrong.
Yeah.
It's penciled in.
Bob Dobbs is never wrong.
It's penciled in. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tentative date.
Yeah.
Even my cat has an opinion on it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I love people that say the
intuitive.
world's going to end. And I always make a deal with them. I said, okay, listen, you're saying the world's going to end tomorrow? Okay, the beer and the pizza's on you. And they go, no way. What do you need the money for? Come on.
Yeah.
You're convinced. Let's go.
At least the Church of the Subgenius is very honest. They say, all we're interested in your money. We're not interested in your soul. We just want your money. And they say, we will offer you eternal salvation or triple your money back. Yeah.
I'm just looking at that book, The Phenomena, from Annie Jacobson. It's $2.99 ebook.
$2.99.
So send your money now, Matt, and then I'll buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Close friends, I could send you an audiobook. Just yeah.
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 Okay, so I'll ask Richard. In the past, you know, you've been at this for 45 years. How has the Canadian paranormal scene or community changed in that 45 years?
Oh, yeah, it's huge. I mean, when I started, there was no social media platforms. There was no internet. There was no cell phones. There was, you did research by going to a library or buying books or whatever. We didn't have the technology we did today. I mean,
yeah,
it was old school stuff. Everything was audio tape, and cost you $300 or $400 to go get your film developed, unless you had a dark room yourself. But still, and it wasn't popular. It wasn't as popular. I mean,
yeah.
TV, paranormal TV, and social media has made it overly popular. We've gone, the pendulum has swung the other direction now. Huge changes. I mean, people are more aware now. It's harder to get access to properties because, they don't want to stigmatize their property. They don't want to be involved. And that's paranormal TV as well, right? Because,
yeah.
And when we started getting into this, people said, "Hey, I've got a haunting going on," and they were honest. They said, "Oh, it's probably my Uncle Jeff or whoever."
Yeah.
today, the rusty pipes in the basement, we've got a demon in the house. Right? And it's people watch TV and they believe what they're being told, right? So they hear a demon all the time. They start thinking, "Oh my God, I've got a demon." So, "Oh, you're a paranormal investigator." No, I need an exorcism, or I need
Yeah.
So it's the pendulum's gone the other way. It's sort of out of hand now, but a lot of things have changed.
I mean, you're familiar with tulpas and thought forms.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can create a ghost that didn't exist before. There's been experiments done on this where they create a ghost, the Philip experiment, and the ghost goes on and lives the life that you designed for it, and haunts people in the way that it was designed to haunt.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Just by feeding it.
Yeah. And the more people that come and the more you feed. Like they say, don't feed the trolls, but you can.
Yeah.
You can feed the trolls and you can feed the ghost and you can pump it. You can pump more air into it and you can deflate it, which Alex is saying. You can exercise it.
And over here in Canada, the Catholic Church has a big part of into because they were telling people if you have ghosts, you have demons.
Well, but that's always been the way with the Catholic Church, right?
Yeah.
There are no ghosts.
Fear sells.
Yeah, but the Catholic Church will tell you there are no ghosts. They're demons.
Yeah.
Right. If you've died, you've gone to heaven. If you're not in heaven, well, you went the other way.
On Earth, so you did something.
Ghosts
really
are demons.
bad.
What happened to the Holy Ghost?
Now you're getting into the
semantics
of the church. Right?
Yeah.
So,
minus the oxy.
Doesn't the church say that there's a waiting state place before you get judged and go to heaven or hell? There's a waiting state place, purgatory.
Yeah. That's where they test you for your resolve.
Yeah.
That's where they probe you.
I could do with a good probing. Yeah.
And off he goes. I think he's gone to his pleasure saucer.
We'll have to hook him up to UFO Rookie there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm just been probed. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is that your pleasure saucer that you've been probed by?
No, I bought a little saucer device. It's a flying saucer. It was £15. It's plastic and it's got LEDs in it. And you plug it into USB, and it's like your own personal light show, like your own disco show. And wherever you go, who needs big lights and massive lasers and things like this? You just put your pleasure 15 quid UFO in the room, and it's like turn the lights off, USB, and it's just like, wow, disco time. Disco time. And I'm sure if you concentrate enough, that thing will take off in the room. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Matt, I bought Annie's book. It was only $2.99,
take you long
so
enough.
I bought it.
Excellent. Yeah.
Oh, we'll see.
Phenomenal.
It talks about the much maligned, but I've got a lot of time for Uri Geller. Ed Dames, it talks about all the admirals and generals that were working, Project Stargate, Flame Grill, or Grill Flame, Teal, what was it, Ruby Teal or something, all these different project names. The Psychic Spies program has moved hands so many times and got stigmatized. You've got Russell Targ, Hal Puthoff, all the scientists who did scientific control experiments on this stuff. Yeah. And people cannot accept, the public cannot accept, governments cannot accept, people in the military cannot accept, but the proof is in the pudding. They have done things that are impossible to do.
Yeah.
The impossible can be possible. It's just, were you there? Did you see it? were you there? I know, because I've had my own experiences, I have no reason to disbelieve. I'm not like the X-Files. I want to believe. I have no choice but to believe. There's no choice. The choice has been removed from me.
Yep.
I don't want to believe. I literally live in that world. Yeah.
Interesting. It is an interesting world that we live in, and I do believe that if you didn't believe, you're normal, right? Is that how it goes? You're normal. You're normal.
Pink boy, we call him in the Churches of Genius. You're a pink boy. Sorry, Alex, you're a bit pink at the moment. So.
It's supposed to be red, but the camera's shit. Here, let me change the color.
There you go. Oh no, the background's changed, but he's still pink.
Still pink, yeah.
Hang on. I'm getting to it.
He's getting to it.
You got too much sun there.
I'm going to send the spirit of Bill Hicks over you to squeegee that third eye. Oh, there he goes. Bill Hicks has been in the house now. Bill Hicks has been in the house.
You look a little weller.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex, as Kermit the Frog said, it's not easy being green.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right. We'll start with Kassy. Kassy, get all your information out there, and I put a link for your YouTube channel in the show notes. But go ahead and let everyone know where they can find you.
Okay, so Weeping Willow Paranormal on YouTube. I also have Instagram. It's under Weeping Willow Paranormal. I also have an email. So I'm pretty active on Instagram if you want to message me. Or email is fine too. So weepingwillowparanormal@gmail.com. So that's where I'm in.
Jeff.
Well, Exploring Harley on YouTube and on social media, on X and everything. And I will be, not this coming weekend, but the weekend of the 27th, 28th, 29th of September, I will be in Gettysburg. And I'll be just attending one day of the Warren's Paracon. And in October, on the 12th of October, I will be in Halifax at the Paranormal Symposium.
Damn, I thought you said you're going to be in Oak Island.
No, but I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody to go on Oak Island. So
didn't they find a massive gold chunk there recently?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they found something really significant recently. But it was really kept secret. But my friends Lomar and Chelsea, our friend Kim, she lives like right next to Oak Island. From her house, you can see Oak Island.
Wow.
Richard, I know this is a tall order for you, but let everyone know how to find you.
We just relaunched our website. We're rebuilding it. There's a lot of new content coming over time, but so it's the searchergroup.ca, and you can get a hold of me through that, or you can just email me at richard@thesearchergroup.ca, or you can catch me on Facebook.
I put the link in your messenger too, Matt. I know you were asking for it earlier, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I've just put mine in the chat. It's the Secret Vault with no spaces, yeah. So you can't get confused. And Circle Makers TV with no spaces, yeah.
Yeah.
That's on YouTube, but that's on a channel that I no longer regulate, yeah. And when you go on that channel, you'll see my humorous side quite a bit more, yeah. But it was my attempt to try and bring the scientific community into crop circle making and understand what's going on and understand the energy and the UFOs and the alien reality of men make crop circles. But where do we get the influence? Do we get it from each other, or are we getting it from another source? Find out more. Circle Makers TV on YouTube. 75 hours of free of charge truth injection into your brain.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, Kassy, yes, Matt did build crop circles.
Crop circles.
Many of them.
Yeah.
Many of them.
Too many to mention. Yeah.
That was just after a trip to
and
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
And the guy knows like every spot in the UK that are like, okay, that center is like monitoring so and so, and he knows everything about it. And go and watch his channel. Go and watch his explorers, because you got epic explorers in there, and I'm a big fan of that.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
Wait a sec. I keep hearing, who the hell's this Matt guy? I see the secret vault. Are you talking about the secret vault?
The secret vault.
I know, Matt's. I too. Like I said, I didn't know Matt until like Gareth.
Yeah.
And Gareth pointed out, said, "Hey, you got to check out the secret vault,
and
Matt."
I can't wait the date I'm gonna fly over there, and Matt's gonna take me around, and I just hope that you're gonna take me on your boat on one of those sports out of
Magic Adventures, yeah. And I'm jealous of like Kassy, Weeping Willow, and Niagara, and Steve. You know, you just across from you, isn't it? You can just drive down there.
I'm literally minutes.
I mean, I nearly made it there. I couldn't quite get there. You know, I did Ohio though. And
good old Ohio, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping next year to be in the UK next year. So, but I mean, yeah, Matt, like, yeah, if you're ever out this way, you know, you're more than welcome.
I'd love to. It's just the only problem with me is my responsibility with my kids.
Yeah.
Or kid, which is my dog.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, my dog is my number one priority. So
Yep. Absolutely.
If I could get somebody to look after my dog for a week, I would come. Yeah.
And if you come over, I will take you where everything changed, where the French lost it all.
Yeah.
Right here in Quebec City.
Yeah.
That's great. That's hilarious.
Well, that's it. They lost it all on the planes, because after the planes, it was like, okay, that's yours.
I tell you what, though, can I just ask everybody who's watching, and anybody who watches this later on, just send some prayer energy to a friend of mine, Tony.
Tony.
Okay. Tony needs some prayer energy, some healing right now. Okay. Just send some prayer energy to Tony, because she got dealt a bit of a curveball recently, and she's just the most sweetest person in the world, and she's being tested right now with an illness, and just send some healing energy to Tony. Bless. Thank you.
Yeah.
There's some love. Just
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot of sickness.
Yeah.
And on a happier note, like, once again, happy birthday, Richard.
Oh, happy birthday, sir.
He's 46 years old.
I wish it was.
It's 46 American.
Yeah, 46 American. Yeah,
that's the exchange rate. Yeah.
Yeah. We are always on the losing side.
Yeah.
46 American.
Should we see converting it to the British pound? Then he's like 4.
Should we see what artificial intelligence has to say about Richard's birthday being today? Should we do this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's hear this.
Oh yeah, this is the latest shit, right? Okay.
Okay.
Hang on, it's connecting. Wait a sec. Come on.
Not getting any younger.
Yeah, go on. Yeah. Carry on.
And again,
over here, I'm good.
I do want to apologize for the interesting intro this evening. The stream going down and restarting, but we made it. We made it.
I feel bad for Kassy, because it's her first time on. She
I know.
has no idea what she's getting involved with here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm on a free AI, and Yeah, it's having trouble connecting at the moment. If I pay
It's
£8 a
Rose's
month,
fault.
I will get instant response.
It's Rose's fault.
Did you just send Richard back to like 3 years old or something like that?
There you go.
Dial up speed.
I have no words.
That should be hilarious.
He's adorable.
All right, I gotta keep going.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yep. Have a good night, everyone.
Cheers, Alex.
Take care.
Take care, Alex.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, all the best. Oh, what? Is it busy? It's busy. Why won't it respond? Okay. Yeah. No, I've got Chat GPT voice, so I can actually say to it, do this, I want this, and it comes back to me. It goes, all right then, how about this? And it gives me the whole thing I want. I go, no, just do a little bit more of this, and it goes, okay, and it's like bang, and it's thinking about it.
That's scary. That AI stuff. It's like, whoa.
Well, it's just about to become part of everyone's everyday reality, but yeah, most people haven't switched on to it yet.
No, I do utilize it with certain things, but I haven't, not like some people. A lot of people use it quite often. I haven't used it quite often. Just
no, when you hear it voice mode and it talks back to you, it's uncanny.
Yeah,
it's completely uncanny. Yeah,
I just get annoyed when Siri come alive for nothing. It's like, what? Shut up.
I'm going to restart the phone, and yeah, I might go live after this, so I'll show you ChatGPT now on my live if you're finishing.
Yeah, we're finishing up here. Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Kassy, first time on the show. Thank you for coming on, and we'll definitely have you on for like a whole show for you.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, you have to.
This is just
virtual hugs from Stonehenge in
the chaos. The chaos. And
it's all good. Thanks for having me, though.
Well, thank you for coming on, and of course, Jeff, always a pleasure having you on, buddy. And Richard, well, hey, the man, the myth, the legend. You just turned 46. Thank you for coming on. Always a pleasure. And Matt,
laser show.
Matt, always great having you on, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Laser
Thanks
show.
for having me.
And if you go live, I might
doesn't
pop
work.
in.
I have to move the mic. Laser show. Laser show. Come on, laser show! Yay!
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care.
All the best.
Nice seeing you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll be back, but only in a rerun.